there were hundreds of thousands of displaced country folk flooding into Montreal in the 1900s. And it didn't take very long for the entertainment industry to realize that there was money to be made from these homesick country folks who wanted to hear a little bit of the music from back home. So they set up these theatrical entertainments on these stages where they'd put hay bales and kind of make a rustic decor, and they'd get these musicians who were from the countryside, who played the old fiddle tunes and sang the old songs, and they'd dress them up as old people, put powder in their hair and kind of old-fashioned garb. And if you look at the photographs from the 1920s, they used to call them the veillées de bon vieux temps, the evenings of good old-fashioned entertainment, and it looks exactly, the photos look exactly like the Grand Ole Opry. Just exactly like it. It's just the northern version of it. It was basically the same idea. And of course, just like the Grand Ole Opry, it didn't take long before the radio stations started to have those radio barn dances. And they had them up in Quebec too. And so Isidore Soucy started out, came to work in a factory, but ended up on the stage in those productions. And then he went right into the radio and went from there on to television, had a family, got them in the band. And he was, in one way or the other, on the stage, on the airwaves, radio or television for about 35 years. He was an institution from about 1924 to 1962. Here's a couple of his tunes that he brought from back home, a couple of parts of the quadrille. you so much. Well, I have to say it is a great honor to be the token middle-aged fogey here tonight with all these young ones.
I'm not middle-aged.
As I said, the token. I still got almost all my teeth, and I have everything I had 30 years ago. It's just lower. So.
Me too.
Okay, we're going to slow things down a little bit here. In Quebec, there are no slow airs, but what there are just some really beautiful waltzes. And it took a while for the waltz to get into Quebec because the church took such a totally dim view of square dancing to start out with in the 17 and 1800s. And they railed against the fiddle player as the easiest target. And gosh, you know, boy, the square dances sure look tame compared to the waltz, where you might be dancing with someone who was not your spouse. And there you were, with your arms entwined around their waist, dancing to the intoxicating beat, swirling off God knows where. And so the church really put the kibosh. I mean, they basically, in many parishes, it was just forbidden to dance at all, even in weddings. I used to live out in the countryside in Ancienne-Lorette, and I remember I was courting my neighbors across the road from me who were farmers, and usually the fiddle is a good calling card, but not with them because her mother had been excommunicated for allowing them to dance at their wedding in the barn. So there you are. Anyway, so it took a while for the waltzes to get in, but now they're very popular, and there's some beautiful new ones. We're going to play a tune from my very dear musical friend from Quebec, André Marchand, who some of you may know is one of the founding members of the Bottine Souriante. Yeah, great guitar player, great singer. And this is a tune that he wrote for when he was visiting with Paul Hofstetter, who some of you may know, a fabulous luthier and guitar maker and repair person and musician. And he lives in a place called Bonnie Doon, and it's this absolutely beautiful little valley just outside of Santa Cruz with old growth trees and ferns and deer and hummingbirds, and you just expect hobbits to appear out of the woods. It's just truly beautiful. And this was a tune that he wrote one morning sitting outside of Paul's home. It's called Mornings at Bonnie Doon.